April 24th here in southern Ontario, Canada. Oh, I hope that phone doesn't flip around. It drives me nuts. So the regime of Trudeau is in federal court again. That's our second highest court in the land. The Supreme Court is above it. The issue is disarming the population. There are 6 parties, including the province of Alberta, challenging Trudeau's gun ban. What formerly was called the buyback program, but they blatantly admit they have no intention of paying them now. They just want to disarm the populace. So this court challenge is, today's the 7th day. I believe there's 2 more days. Now, it should be said right off the hop, this whole gun ban thing of the Trudeau's regime was done through an order in council. That's like the American equivalent of a U.S. executive order. The option of an order in council exists in our parliamentary law. Let's say, for example, it's a crisis. Someone invades our shores. It's no time to call cabinet in to have a vote on what to do. It gives the ruling party the ability to, in this example, call out the armed forces. That's what it exists for, not to change a law. It is also a violation of our Bill of Rights. We have the Bill of Rights and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Under the Bill of Rights, we have the right to own legal property. So you can see what's happening here, right? The government just goes, we're disarming the populace. We say they're illegal. You can't have them. Sets a frightening precedent. They can do it if they win this court case with anything. We're banning SUVs and pickup trucks. You're going to have to go electric because cow farts are knocking the planet off its axis or something. So one of the big players in here is the CCFA, the Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights. Again, the province of Alberta, and then 4 separate parties that I needn't really get into. I'll try to lay out some background really briefly. Today, ironically, is the 3-year anniversary of the mass slaying in Nova Scotia, where that lunatic went on a 2-day rampage with, it's important to note, 4 illegally procured and possessed firearms. 3 he'd smuggled across the border, 1 he'd procured in Canada through whatever not legal fashion. The RCMP, 16 occasions, were in contact with this individual, knew he was in possession of these items, as well as mock police uniforms and a mock police car, and there's some nefarious goings on in the background of that business, but I'm not going to go further down that alley. The Trudeau government, the regime of, has removed mandatory minimum sentencing for gun crimes in Canada. This has escalated illegal gun activity hugely. So at the expense of Canadian citizens, sorry about the beep. At the expense of Canadians' lives, he's encouraged illegal activity to frighten the population into believing his delirious representation that taking them away from everybody, the hunters and the trappers in the Yukon or the Northwest Territories, or a farmer in the far north, or an Albertan sports shooter, or a hunter anywhere or anything, take them all away, that'll cure it. Right, you can see the scheme, can't you? So 2 more days in court, then it'll be months before the judge makes a decision, at which point in time the government can appeal it to the Supreme Court, but by which time they're saying we have amnesty until this fall, 2023, and then they're coming for them. So you can see how this is playing out, can't you? Yeah, well, that's how our regime rolls here in Canada. I'll keep you abreast of what's going on with the situation.